Every day, children are being physically, emotionally, verbally, psychologically, and sexually abused. There's even been deaths, such as Cornelius Fredericks. He was 16, and he was in the cafeteria and got restrained by 7 staff members for 12 minutes and died because of this, and this is all because he threw a sandwich. And just the type of stories that I experienced and others are so horrifying that it's hard to believe that there are people on earth that could do this to children.
When you talked about Cornelius at the press conference, I could hear the emotion in your voice. Do you remember when you first saw that video?
Yes, I'm part of a lot of survivor communities of others who have attended these type of schools. So as soon as that happened, that was all over, and it was just heartbreaking to see that. And just to see how everybody in the school, it was like a normal occurrence, because every day these children are restrained and deaths are happening because these staff members are not properly trained. And it was just, I can't imagine his poor family having to hear that when their son was just being sent somewhere where they thought he was going to be healed. And for that to happen is just so horrible.
You're using your visibility, your platform on this issue. Why? Why is this the issue for you?
You know, I was never planning on telling the story, and that's actually something that I found out recently that is very normal with survivors who have been through this, because I was just ashamed of what I'd went through, and these places had really beaten into my mind that no one's going to believe you. So I just made a promise that I would never talk about it again. And then when I did my documentary, This is Paris, I started opening up to the director and just telling the story more, and then doing research and seeing that everything that happened to me is still happening today, but even worse. And it was just, I couldn't sleep well at night knowing that if I didn't speak up, I don't know who would. And I'm just so grateful that I was brave enough to tell my story, because it's been the most healing and empowering experience of my life. And my mom has just been so heartbroken and in shock because she had no idea. And she's just sad, she's angry, she was lied to by these places, because these places manipulate the families and the parents just as much as they do the children. And that's another reason, I think, why they've been getting away with this for 60 years in this business.
Because the families don't know what's happening. The parents don't.
The families have no idea. These places put out pamphlets and brochures and make it look like this happy camp that your kids are going to be riding horses and their kids are all smiling. Being a child in there, you are cut off from the outside world. Anytime you're on a phone call, you are being supervised with 3 people standing there. And if you say one bad word, just like when I tried to, they would hang up the phone, take away your phone privileges. You would be locked in a seclusion room or beaten. I experienced things that no child should ever experience, just on a daily basis, being verbally, physically, emotionally, psychologically abused. I've been strangled. Anytime I would take a shower or use the restroom, there was always staff watching, including male staff members, screaming vulgar names at me and berating me and humiliating me any chance they could get, locking me in a seclusion rooms for I don't even know how many, maybe 72 hours or more, sleep deprivation, scream therapy where they have all the children around each other screaming the most horrible things at each other, just cutting me off from the outside world. The list goes on and on. Like it's when I think about it, it's just like I wish I would have spoken up sooner, but I just didn't even want to think about it because it was just so traumatic and painful to have to really believe it was real. But it was, and it's happening today on an even worse level. And that's why I just can't be silent anymore about it.
Why does Congress need to get involved? Why does Congress need to act?
Congress needs to act because children are dying in the name of treatment. This is a human rights issue. People should be outraged at what's happening. And children deserve to live in a humane and safe environment and be protected.
Paris, thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.